Pixar used to be a gaming studio, or more accurately, they used to make video games in addition to feature films. And I'm not talking about the licensed console tie-in games like Cars or The Incredibles. Those are licensed out to game developer studios like THQ. No, Pixar used to have an in-house gaming unit that would develop titles, create original animations, and attempt to be as big, if not bigger, than their feature film studio. And the more I think about it, the more curious I get, right? Pixar's movies are amazing. Could you imagine a Pixar game with their rich world building, writing, characters? This is the studio that revolutionized the animated feature film. They brought us some of the richest stories and movie experiences and expansive worlds that have ever been put on the screen. And now that we're so used to games offering a similar experience, what kind of games did Pixar make?
Need help, Woody!
We're in for a treat today. What you just saw was a clip from Pixar Interactive Product Group's first game, Toy Story Animated Storybook.
Go, go, go!
When you read a story, it comes alive.
A Buzz Lightyear!
But never this alive. Pixar and Disney's animated storybook, Toy Story, on CD-Rom.
This is one of many CD-Rom games at the time in the mid-90s that capitalized on the trend of the interactive storybook, popularized by Living Books. These games were often based on a known children's book, and they retold the story digitally. Each page was digitized and narrated to you.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
Said Arthur.
Instead of turning the page, you would click the next button. Not a bad way to get screen-addicted kids into reading books, honestly. Once the narration of the particular page that you're on is done, the page would become interactive, meaning you could click around everywhere and a bunch of nonsense would happen. I had Living Books' Arthur's Birthday on CD-ROM as a kid.
To play inside my birthday story, click right over there.
These games were a hit, and many well-known children's books soon got the interactive storybook treatment. It wasn't long until movie studios started to eye this as a release synergy opportunity. And this included Disney. Not only did they have a backlog of iconic movies and titles, but they had new movies coming out, including one by a young new studio called Pixar.
For anyone who's ever wondered what toys do when people aren't around.
Pixar in its early days was still trying to find an identity and turn a profit, and they were deep into their very first feature film,
Toy Story.
Steve Jobs, who was calling the shots at Pixar at the time, eyed home computer gaming as a key sector for growth. Pixar had always wanted to make films, but just to get to that point, they had to wear a lot of hats.
Pixar is a leader in the creation of tools that allow people to understand data through the technology of visualization.
They created and sold hardware and software, they produced television commercials, and they were already known for their award-winning short films. Why wouldn't they rule out video games as a next venture? Especially in the 90s with the burgeoning home computer market.
$1,900 just for this.
Comes with a mouse and keyboard.
And I gotta buy the printer, the keyboard, oh, it comes with a keyboard.
During this time, Steve Jobs created a department within Pixar to oversee the development and management of its own games called Pixar Interactive Products Group. At its height, the group had around 95 employees. Pixar valued its indie, outsider, startup feel, which is something they still take pride in today. So if they were going to get into gaming, they wanted to make sure it had that Pixar quality that audiences would come to expect from a Toy Story. Steve Jobs boasted that Pixar's games would feature motion picture quality animation. Disney, who partnered with Pixar to finance and distribute Toy Story, was generous with offering the young studio with people and resources and access to its merchandising and marketing prowess.
I see him! They're here!
Toy Story toys have arrived at Burger King with the stars from the magical Disney movie. Your kid.
Hello, I'm Michael Eisner. I'm here in the virtual reality studio where Disney Imagineers are creating a whole new world of storytelling.
In its Michael Eisner era, the company was constantly pushing into new fields. After mixed luck with licensing out Disney features and characters, they hopped onto the living book trend to coincide with The Lion King's home video release in Christmas 1994.
Brother.
Disney's take on this formula was unique. The games tied into new smash feature film releases rather than dusty old books, and they boasted new original animation by classically trained Disney animators, all done in-house by Walt Disney Interactive Studios. They could also boast all-star voice talent.
Nice to have you back!
After the success of the Lion King interactive storybook, Toy Story was next, and Pixar insisted on developing this title themselves. A slight disclaimer, I really wanted to find a way to play these games for this video, but I've got a new computer, and every archive and emulator I could find, none of them worked, so today I will be reacting to these playthroughs here.
Okay, oh yes, one minor note here. Andy's birthday party's been moved to today.
What the? You made my day.
What do you mean the party's today? His birthday's not till next week! What's going on down there?
Okay, let's get to work.
Tuesday night's plastic corrosion awareness meeting was, I think, a big success. And we want to thank RC for putting that on for us.
Wait a minute.
RC.
No, Mr. Spell put that meeting on.
And we want to thank Mr. Spell for putting that on for us. Thank you, Mr. Spell.
What? Pixar, unlike other animation studios, did not hire their employees on a contract basis. They would instead hire their employees full-time to enrich the studio and ensure their ambitious projects were always staffed and diminish competition. This is also how they plan to groom future directors, leading artists, producers, etc. for the studio's future output. So once the all-hands production on Toy Story wrapped, its very talented crew needed a project to roll onto, after some R&R of course. Some animators would roll on to animating 10-second bumpers on ABC Kids. These were called Toy Story Treats. Others worked on R&D to improve their software and rendering capabilities for future projects. Their yet-to-be-titled next feature film about A Bug's Life was in very early development. As late as 1996, Pixar was still making commercials as well. Despite a tight deadline, Pixar's Interactive Product Group was happy to be working on the two Toy Story CD-Rom titles. They would also produce original animation for the Toy Story Genesis and SNES game.
His movements are very creepy. He runs like a Sasquatch or something.
Yeah, it's
he
very
runs like Slender Man.
Like how the Lion King interactive storybook could boast original classical Disney animation, the Toy Story game was very similar. It could boast they had original Pixar animation done in-house. Ugh. It's so eerie without any audio. I don't like that one bit. So if you're wondering why all the characters and sets in Storybook look eerily identical to what's in the movie, that's because they are the same characters and sets that were in the movie. Pixar was able to just animate it themselves. In 3D console games, the hardware isn't strong enough for feature quality rendering. You're not going to see millions of Sully's hairs being rendered for a Monsters Inc. game. It would just be a texture that looks like a bunch of hair.
Yeah, sure, I could do that.
That's why PlayStation 1 and 2 games always look charmingly unfinished. But as Storybook was a 2D point-and-click game, all Pixar had to do was render the environment, take a screenshot, and drop that in there, and it was done, it was ready. And it's nice to revisit these old sets and spend more time here. I've always admired Toy Story as a 90s CG time capsule. And if you're into Windows 95 sort of 3D worlds and sets, you'd be into this game. I also find CGI movies a little wasteful in a way, in that all of this time and effort gets put into these models and characters that chances are will be seen once or twice and then never again. So this is a great way to get full use out of them. Everything made for Toy Story gets full use in this. The film, of course, would release in 1995 and become a smash success, and for good reason. It's a great movie. It's a laugh riot. It's groundbreaking technologically. It's just a great time at the theater for all ages. Toy Story animated Storybook dares to ask, what if Toy Story was stupid? Toy Story animated Storybook retells the story of the film. Loosely. It plays major scene by major scene, and when you click around, a bunch of stupidities happen. It's great.
Here to the rescue. Terrific.
Not bad.
Great.
Well.
Dreamy.
Weak.
What the rest do you got? Weak. Much of the original cast returns aside from the two leads. Instead of Tim Allen, we have Pat Fraley doing an impression.
An invisible force field. Great Scott, he's tearing that man's heart out.
And it's pretty well known now that Woody is voiced by Tom Hanks' brother Jim Hanks in games, toys, and other ancillary Toy Story projects. And it's a pretty good impression of his brother.
This is not happening to me. This is not happening. Think happy thoughts. La 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 la.
La 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 la!
Etch. Oh.
Returning from the movie are Don Rickles as Mr. Potato Head,
Hey, watch it.
Wallace Shawn as Rex,
Great. Now I have guilt.
Ernest as Slinky, and John Ratzenberger narrating as Ham.
Woody and Buzz, best of pals.
Look how cute his little icons are. Look at him walking away. I love
Let me tell you
him.
what you can do.
The crew said that Ratzenberger was a great sport and a good improviser, and I feel like the extended sessions with him here, it might have sparked them wanting to have him back in every movie. That's just speculation, though. I heard that they didn't want Woody to be the narrator since Tom Hanks wasn't coming back, so it was difficult for them to have a side character like Ham, who wasn't at Pete's Planet, who wasn't at Sid's house. It was difficult to have him narrate. How does he know what went on there? Oh yeah, he doesn't. Maybe that's why Storybook is the way it is. Maybe this is just how Ham sees the world.
Buzz.
This game makes me so nostalgic for all of the side toys in Andy's room that don't really get a chance to shine. For the same reason the sets make me nostalgic for 90s CGI. In the game we get to spend an extended amount of time with all these side characters, and it's a blast.
Okay. Who am I?
Danger, Will Robinson.
Some of them didn't speak in the movie, but they speak here, like Rocky.
No one ever helped Rocky before.
Again, it makes me feel bad. All this time went into designing these characters and we barely see them, but I'm appreciating them. I'm looking at you, roly-poly clown. I wanted that Little Tykes fire truck so bad as a kid, and they're some of the funniest guys in this game. Every time I see them, they're up to something.
This is for you. Thank you. Mittens. Just like
these guys. Some of the lines in this game I wish were in the movie. When they're trying to help Woody and Buzz onto the moving van, the Little Tykes guys are like,
get real. We have no arms.
That made me laugh. The narration of the story is broken up occasionally by mini games, which some of them are fun.
A helpless toy. It's trapped, Buzz.
All right, everyone's set up for this Rube Goldberg
let's see if this chain
machine.
reaction works.
So are the toys complicit in this?
If you stop.
Like, are they colluding with, are they conscious of what they're doing? They've set up like this complex Rube Goldberg machine that they can never get right. All of these toys are complicit in getting Buzz out the window. What did Woody do? Oh, he touched the robot. Oh, it's all his fault. It's not the sheep that are tied to a balloon and a bowling ball. It's not that.
Looks like the rocket was pointed too high.
Did Andy do that?
Try again.
Buzz. Buzz! Buzz! Get out! Buzz, you have ample time. You have ample time to see what's going on in front of you. Why aren't you moving? It's because he's too proud. This is going to take 87 years. And of course the rocket was in the wrong spot. Of course. Let's do it again. Oh, of course, it's all his fault, huh? It's all his fault. Because you guys didn't do anything? This is nonsense. Or this one. You have to hurry and put all the toys away because Andy's coming to the room.
Andy coming! New toy!
Back to your places! Hurry!
Everybody had to get back to their places before Andy got there. We needed all the help we could get.
Put a little blue toy on the left end.
How long is Andy taking to get up the stairs? He's taking the scenic route.
Put a brown
No, I think
toy
Andy
with
just has a lot of
arms
stairs.
on
He
the
lives on
upper
the
closet
12th
shelf.
floor, actually.
Warm, warmer, hot.
Ew. What?
Hot.
Gee, thanks!
You're welcome. Apparently they wanted checkers to be another minigame that was included, but they took it away because it did not advance the story in a meaningful way, which I get. Imagine you're a kid having your fun and then you have to learn checkers. I might have preferred it to some of these other minigames that are in here.
When Steve put the quarter in the crane game, he had no idea what the claw was going to grab.
You have been selected to
Oh
lead my
my
people to freedom.
god.
Select my humble servants according.
Honestly, they were onto something by cutting checkers.
Buzz and Woody had to avoid Scud while...
Oh my god. I just want to point out what a horrible misuse of land this is. American car-centric infrastructure, am I right? Hey, we did it!
You have angered the claw.
What is that little alien doing to him to warrant that kind of a response? Jesus Christ! Okay, so in the movie they just kind of surrounded Sid. I didn't add that sound.
Great Scott, he's tearing that man's heart out.
Yeah, these toys are killing Sid. Woody should be like, we're gonna turn you into a mutant. Quick, put his head on the lawnmower, guys!
We did it! You guys were great! Buzz!
So, is the game any good? I've been comparing it to Toy Story this whole time because it looks like Toy Story, it sounds like Toy Story, it is the same story as Toy Story, but you can't really compare it to Toy Story. They're different movies, they're different experiences. It's best compared to other point-and-click games, because that's what it is. And to that effect, I want to say it's really good. Like, I wouldn't recommend it to friends or anything like that. A Rocket League's way more fun than this. This is a lot to give to a kid. Why is Potato wearing a mask? Like, he wouldn't do that. But it's a great interactive storybook. As aforementioned, this one was rendered and animated by Pixar themselves, and aside from some minor compression and CD-ROM awkwardness, it looks exactly like Toy Story. This could be from the movie. Disney's animated storybooks are based on their 2D movies, and the animation and color lose something in the transition to CD-ROM. It's more stilted, awkward, very limited by the hardware. Arthur's Birthday was similar. I mean, I still find it charming and of its time, but if I were a kid in 1995 and I had the options between Lion King and Toy Story Interactive Storybook, Toy Story Interactive Storybook would have blown me away because it looks exactly like the movie did. It's worth pointing out that the gags, the stupidities, are very funny as well. I especially love the gas station page of the book, where everywhere you click, Woody and Buzz are just beating the heck out of each other. This is the best game ever.
Clear. It's liquid.
It's worth noting that Pixar not only did the animation for this game, but they did the writing as well. It was all done by the guys that did Toy Story.
Look, I'm a cowboy! Howdy, howdy, howdy.
So the characters all feel right and familiar. We even get to know those less prominent characters like Rocky.
Look, see? My arms aren't long enough.
Me help, potato head. Hey, let go!
Coming off the heels of the stress of production of Toy Story, this game just feels like the filmmakers having fun with it. Letting loose. It feels like an extended gag session, and I love that. When my dad would read me picture books as a kid, he was a funny guy. He would often punch up the books and embellish it to get a reaction out of us. I particularly remember we had an Easter book where the Easter bunny was giving out eggs and it was wholesome, and he said, no, actually, these eggs are bombs. For the rest of the book, pretend they're bombs. So Toy Story Interactive Storybook feels like a bunch of dads retelling Toy Story. It's great. I've given a lot of crap to the stupidities when you click around, but it's my exact type of humor, unfortunately. Woody, this isn't like you. Okay. But it's best contained in an interactive storybook like this. I prefer Pixar making great movies.
Oh no, it's Scud!
Me help, Woody!
That should slow him down for a while.
That takes care of that. But what about the other CD-ROM game that they made? Well, that one was called Toy Story Activity Center.
Everybody, look who's here!
Hey!
Can you feel the excitement building? Your marble art is really coming along, Rex.
What the hell was that?
I'm exploring the...
Hey, it's you! Look, guys, look who's here in Andy's room. Hey! Can you feel it in the air? A palpable thrill. So we got checkers, we got board games.
Are you still winning?
Yep, it's the mismatch of the century.
Rocky needs to work on brain muscle.
How many do you need to win? 5?
And it doesn't follow any kind of story. It's just a bunch of mini games. It reminds me of children's sites growing up and the games that they would have on the site. It's like checkers.
If you go over 39, Ham wins. Click the deck to start the...
You are able to go to Sid's house and build mutant toys though. That's very fun. Toy Story Activity Center has clips of the movie. That's nice. If you don't have Toy Story on VHS, you can watch clips here. So, what happened to Pixar Interactive Products Group? Why didn't they ever make any more games? Where'd they go? Well, per David A. Price in his book, The Pixar Touch, the Interactive Products Group, with a staff of around 95 out of Pixar's total staff of 300, had its own animators, its own art department, and its own engineers. Under intense time pressure, they had put out 2 successful CD-ROM titles. Between the 2 products, the Interactive Group had created as much original animation as there was in Toy Story itself. Jobs had convinced himself that the games would sell 10 million copies, like the best-selling direct-to-video films. Pam Kerwin, as head of the group, insisted that the market wasn't there on such a scale.
We can make a good, profitable business out of them.
She said the products had sold almost 1 million copies combined.
But they won't be a home run like Toy Story.
Well, if that's the case, Jobs said finally, then why don't we just turn all these people over to making another movie? Thus, in March 1997, while Kerwin took the assignment of building a short films group, Jobs shut down the computer games operation and the game staff became the initial core of the Toy Story 2 production team. It makes a lot of sense for a company to reshuffle its priorities this way, especially when one project is a really good movie and the other project is
Me help, Woody!
The goal with Pixar from the start was always to move on from hardware development, software development, and commercials into being a feature film studio. And video games were just one step on the way to make ends meet and try something new. A somewhat failed experiment. All future Pixar tie-in games after this point would be licensed out to actual game developer studios to mixed success. This begs the question, what if Pixar Interactive Products Group never went away? Would they still be making games? What kinds of games would they have made? Would they have moved on from point-and-click CD-Rom games to like console games? Would they have original ideas that aren't tied to any movie? We'll never know, but it's fun to imagine. I'm just endlessly fascinated by Pixar in its very early days, when it was still trying to figure out who they were and what they were going to do. All of this outsider identity, all these oddball projects, back when it really had that startup feel. In a lot of ways, the studio today may feel more complicated and corporate, but that's why I love seeing what they tried in their past, and what worked and what didn't work.
It's like apples and oranges, you can't compare them, you know?
Thank you very much for watching, and a huge shout out to my paid Patreon supporters, Woody, Buzz. I don't have any paid Patreon supporters yet, but if you like the work I do and you'd like a shout out at the end of my next video, please feel free to support me on Patreon. The link is in my bio. The job market is very tough right now, that's why I've been posting on YouTube more recently, so if you'd like to support me, I would greatly appreciate a Patreon donation. Thank you. What's your favorite Pixar game? Mine is probably the Cars game for PlayStation 2, but let me know down in the comments what you think.